month and a half ago, I don't remember when, but Marty and Sarah and Miss Welch came into the classroom. I'll wait. Came into the classroom and presented us with this poetry lesson, this poetry activity. And you guys had the opportunity to translate it home and make it flow. In partners and as a group. And we loved it so much that we begged Sarah and Marty to teach us how to implement this whole unit so that we can watch how you improve from the first lesson all the way to the end. So we're going to continue with this Poetry Inside Out unit. And actually what's really cool about this is Miss Spears' class is participating in this. They've already started, and the 6th graders love it. Miss Camilleri's class is going to participate in it, and Miss Ballin's class is going to participate in it. And you guys have a little bit of an advantage because you've already had the opportunity to translate a poem and make it flow. Do you remember when we did that?
Yeah.
So what I want you to do is just to start off is just talk with your partner just about what you remember. So writing tools are on the floor so they're not a distraction. Just talk about what you remember. It was a while ago. Talk about some of the things you remember when we did our first Poetry Inside Out lesson. Just to kind of refresh your memory, get the juices flowing. We just got back from recess. That will be a nice transition. Go ahead.
It makes sense. And they understand what the class is saying. There's a poem by a man.
Finish up your last thought. And come back to me. I'll know you're ready to go on to the next step when your eyes are this way. And actually, we are going to be working up on this chart. And instead of transitioning to the rug and doing chart, we're just going to stay in your seat. So I'm noticing that Miguel is turning his chair so that his whole body is facing towards me. I think that's a really smart choice. And I really like how Mateus did it nice and quietly. He picked up his old chair so there was no screeching on the floor. You guys are ready to go. So, who can just, a couple people, let me hear 2 people just share out of what they remember when we did our first Poetry Inside Out lesson. Madeline?
We translated Japanese poem into English.
Okay, say more about that.
A woman came in and she taught us how to translate the Japanese poem into English. We translated it and we read other people's that they read us.
How did we translate a poem? You must know Japanese. Can you can speak it fluently? So how did you do that? Tanya, tell me more.
We didn't know how to translate Japanese to English. We used like a gloss, like a dictionary in the papers.
So we're going to continue to translate poems. We're going to translate poems from all different languages. And some of them might be the languages that you speak at home. And remember how when Marty came in, she talked about how you guys all had gold, right? You had this special treasure. And that was the fact that you all speak another language. And I remember she went around and she asked each one of you, what language do you speak? What language do you speak? And you all spoke at least 2 languages, English and then another language. And then she got to me. And what did I say?
English.
English. I don't have the gold that you have. I don't have that treasure. I don't have that advantage of speaking 2 languages. You guys do. I would love to learn. But even though I didn't speak another language, I was still able to be successful at this. So that's the coolest part of this Poetry Inside Out unit. So during this unit, we're going to be using our voices and our ears, because the most important thing in our classroom especially is speaking and listening. And that's the biggest part of translation. When you translate, you need to speak and you need to listen. So those are some of the things that we're really going to be focusing on today. Before we begin, let's just quickly talk about it. What is a translation? What is a translation? I'm going to just pull some popsicle sticks today. Because so many people raise their hand and I never can choose. Omar, what is a translation? Tell me in your own words what you think of translation.
A translation is kind of like when someone speaks another language, but then you speak in another language to say someone that doesn't speak the other person's language.
I'm not quite sure I fully understand what you're saying. Could you tell me more, maybe try to explain it in another way?
For example, if there's a German person that is talking in Germany, and there's another person that speaks Spanish. Someone in the middle knows Spanish and Germany. He hears the German person, and then he says it in Spanish to the Latin. What?
Omar brings up a really interesting thought. Can anyone try and put what Omar said into their own words, and maybe we can come to an understanding? Louis.
That when, like, the insurance says, like if you go to the hospital, right, and there's a German doctor that doesn't speak, and there's a patient that speaks Spanish, he doesn't understand it, they call someone to an interpreter that will, like, transfer the language that they speak. Like, the German says to tell, like, the date of birth, but in German, and the interpreter, he says it to the patient in Spanish in their language, and the language that they speak.
So what I think I hear both Omar and Louis describing is they're describing when we use translation.
Oh, can I tell you what is it?
Let's go back to that first question. What is translation? What is it? Abby.
Translation is like you talk what language you're good at it, and then a person speaks another language that you never heard or you don't know what it's called, and then you will call someone that speaks those two languages that you speak, and then the other guy, and then they tell you what he's saying. He's saying something bad or good. So,
I like where you're going with that, Wendy.
I think translation is when you convert one language to another.
Convert. That makes me think like math. Convert. So tell me more about what you mean convert. Convert or change. Okay. What does convert mean?
Switch.
When do you come to convert mean? So I really love that a lot of friends have a lot to say about what Wendy said, but we have to do it in an appropriate way. And actually, you're getting to something that we're going to talk about in a minute, but kind of wondering if you should do it right now. If Wendy is participating or sharing an idea, and Miguel has something to say to Wendy, and Raji has something to say to Wendy, we're going to start using what's called the hands-off technique, where Wendy is going to hand it off to Rodrigo. So, Wendy, could you tell that someone wanted to participate back to what you were saying? Miguel was kind of talking to you, Roger was like, I disagree, right? If you have something to say, raise your hand, and it's not my job, it's Wendy's job to say to Rodrigo, okay, what do you think about that? All right, Raji, I can tell you have something to say. And then Raji might notice that Miguel is raising his hand, so who's going to call on Miguel? Rodrigo. So that you guys are now taking control of the conversation. And what I think is really cool about this is this kind of brings our conversation skills to the next step, right? Because now we're repeating back what other people are saying, we've disagreed and agreed, but Ms. Tamora was usually the one calling on people. Now you guys are the ones that are going to be calling on people. Okay, so we'll get to that in a minute, but we can start it now. Wendy, so why don't you stand up and we'll repeat what you said and we'll go through that process.
I said that I think translation is when convert one language to another.
I disagree with you because you said convert as in change, and when you translate someone is the same, but you're just speaking it in another language. Because if there's someone who is English and no Spanish, there's another one that is English but there's no Spanish, you can translate it to them, so it's not really changing.
I would agree with Raji that he disagrees with Wendy because I heard the word convert a lot, and I always think about it. My dad told me about it, and then I forgot about it. And I heard it a lot, but not in that it means to change one language to another, because it means like something else besides that. Madam.
I agree with Margie and Wendy. I agree with Wendy because you do you translate one language, English, to Spanish.
So you said that you agreed with Wendy and Raji, and you just explained why you agree with Wendy. Tell us about why you also agree with Raji.
I also agree with Raji because the word convert, it also means another meaning, so it doesn't explain which meaning it is.
What? Okay, go ahead.
I agree with Wendy because change one language to another is I think it's like definition of translation, because if one person knows one language and the other person knows another language and they can't speak to each other because they can't speak the same language, so one person has to change that language into the other person's language. Louis?
I agree with Raji because the word translation is into a different language, but you're still saying the same thing.
Okay, say more about that.
Like, let's say I don't speak Spanish. Right? Let's say I don't speak Spanish, right? And he speaks English, and he asks me something in Spanish.